Hi, my name is Gavin Smith, and I'm excited to present my Capstone project, exploring the future of consumer footwear. If you really think about it, there aren't that many products that are used more than shoes. And if you think about it on a social and then a global scale, that's a whole lot of impact that one industry has, either for positive or negative. This project wasn't so much about just designing a cool shoe. This project was intended to cast vision for the future of consumer footwear. Let's look at the roadmap for the next few minutes. I'll start by taking us through the life cycle of a shoe, and then we'll look at some of my research into the future of the industry. Then I'll introduce the brand that I will be designing for, and then the development of my design. And then I'll introduce my concept. Every shoe starts from the raw materials that are used to make it. These can be natural, like leather, or they can be synthetic, such as thermoplastic urethane or nylon. The next step is manufacturing. There's a vast array of manufacturing methods that normally require elaborate manufacturing facilities filled with machinery and assembly lines. Because of the cost of labor and the sheer amount of careful labor that goes into making a shoe, most manufacturing is done overseas. Next, the shoe must be distributed and shipped to various retail locations, where the shoe is purchased and makes it to the feet of the user. It is then worn for the extent of its life before it must be disposed of or recycled. The current process of developing a shoe starts with flat patterns that are then cut out of various materials and then sewed together and wrapped around a last. This process is complex and often can result in overproduction as a result of manufacturing for large inventory. The method used to manufacture often makes recycling challenging because of the use of mixed materials and adhesives. So for this project, I wanted to ask the question, what might this process look like in 2050? How could I design a shoe that would envision this new future for the industry? During the research phase of the project, I had the opportunity to attend an expo in Portland where I gained many insights into where the future of the industry is headed. Throughout this process, I learned a lot of new terms and gained many insights from leading voices in the future of footwear and fashion. One of the things that was discussed a lot was moving towards automated manufacturing. 3D knitting is one area of innovation that has grown a lot in the last few years. Santoni and Stoll are two companies that have really pioneered this technology, specifically in footwear, as well as other industries. This tech opens up a lot of possibilities in eliminating waste as well as custom fitted uppers. 3D printing is another form of fully automated manufacturing that several companies have already had success in implementing. Zellerfeld is one company that has had considerable success with 3D printed custom shoes. Based off of images taken from your phone of your foot, this technology is fully automated and allows for customization of fit, and also is a major contributor to prioritizing circularity. This is a practice that many companies are beginning to prioritize, that seeks to take responsibility for the full life cycle of the product. While in linear economy, a shoe is manufactured and then ends up in a landfill, circular economy considers the ability to repair, collect, and recycle a shoe at the end of its life. This process requires that the shoes are designed with disassembly in mind. This looks like also avoiding mixed materials and certain adhesives and chemicals that make recycling near impossible. Localization is another concept that came up in my research as I investigated what the industry could look like in 2050. Currently, most manufacturing is done overseas, but some of the visionaries in the footwear industry are seeing the possibility of reshoring manufacturing. This would reduce shipping and transport, as well as allow the development process to be much more efficient. Instead of needing to send people and samples and prototypes back and forth from overseas factories. This would allow much faster and more efficient, foolproof development processes. Additionally, a lot of the technology that is being developed is allowing for much higher level of customization through the use of 3D scanning technology. This allows for custom-shaped insoles that improve ergonomics and comfort, as well as more fitted overall designs that improve consumer comfort. So imagine with me that you walk into the shoe store in a mall in 2050, and near the entrance you step on a device that scans your feet and inserts that data into an algorithm that generates a custom last and insole for your foot. Then imagine that there's a 3D printer/knitter that is able to manufacture your shoe in store. Not only would this allow for a faster turnaround from the consumer's perspective, but this would also eliminate the challenges and frustrations with ordering shoes online, uncertain about the fit and comfort. And then you, as a satisfied customer, would leave the store with a personalized pair of shoes, optimized comfort, and a fully circular life cycle that you can return at the end of its life to be deconstructed and remade into a new pair. So this was the vision for my project, and as I synthesized all of this research, I compiled it into this project brief to inform my design. Imagine the 2050 consumer shoe prioritize automation, circularity, localization, and customization. Explore future materials, processes, and systems that will revolutionize everyday footwear for a future world. Looking for a brand that this project could center around, I ran into this company called Keen Footwear that is based out of Portland, Oregon. They're a company that really does prioritize making products that last. They value original design and are very conscious about the impact of how and what they make. They have been also proactive in eliminating the use of forever chemicals, is what they call them, and also have a highly efficient factory in Portland where they manufacture these fusion tech shoes, and they attach the outsole to the upper using this fusion technology that does not require any adhesives. This innovative reshoring of manufacturing and this use of technology that eliminates adhesives was all in line with the scope of my project and really demonstrated that this brand would fit well with this forward thinking. Keen also has a wide range of products, from hiking boots to sneakers to various outdoor wear. Researching various styles and getting inspiration for the design of my shoe, I became aware of this category called sport style that is a kind of a crossover between more technical outdoors footwear and everyday lifestyle shoes. This was also a perfect fit with Keen as a brand and also the scope of my project that was more on the consumer footwear side of things. Compiling all my research about various manufacturing methods, the brand of Keen, and a more avant-garde design style, I created a mood board to drive my project. Synthesizing my research further, I created some design objectives. I wanted the project to prioritize design for automated manufacturing, disassembly at the end of life, custom fitting, sport style, and original design that is both fresh and innovative. The development process began with iterations of current Keen categories, as well as exploring various manufacturing techniques such as 3D printed soles and knitted uppers. It was important at this stage to explore far and wide and not limit my concepts. Out of this divergent process, I arrived at two directions. One was a knit shoe that could be fully automated and custom sized. And then I explored a fully 3D printed Keen shoe that could look like, and just kind of what that could look like. And while both of these were intriguing, I felt like there was still something further to explore and that I needed to push through these more obvious answers. Moving back to the drawing board, I noticed these two thumbnails in my ideation, and I was especially drawn to them The one really communicated sports style, technical boot silhouette, while the lower right circled thumbnail communicated to me a sock upper that could be knitted onto a 3D printed sole. This inspired the next round of refinement as I kind of explore this deeper. Developing this concept, I realized that the shape of the sole did not necessarily need to be sectioned like this in order for the concept to be applied. And I was intrigued by this use of kind of a sandwiching layered structure, consisting of an insole that could slip inside the sock upper and clamp to the outsole in almost a Lego-like mechanical connection. Developing this idea, I refined it into this high-top lifestyle boot featuring a 3D knitted sock upper, a custom printed insole, and a fully printed TPU outsole. As I refined it, I also explored what a rebrand of Keen could look like for this line of consumer footwear. I created this sub-brand called K-, that is Keen's 2050 line of consumer footwear that explores a simplified, fully cyclical, fully automated footwear concept that strips back the complicated development and manufacturing traditional method to a much more simple and streamlined process. Using Gravity Sketch, I fleshed out this concept in 3D and created a model to help explore the concept. I am proud to introduce Keen Footwear in 2050, K-. This line of consumer footwear is a simple 3-part construction with a seamless knit upper and a fully automated printed construction. With 3D scanning and a custom midsole combined with unique mechanical joining of the components together, this allows for easier end-of-life disassembly. The final concept was able to achieve my design objectives for a futuristic sports-style consumer shoe that is manufactured autonomously, custom fit to the individual user, and made in a way that is easy to disassemble for a fully circular economy. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Feel free to reach out at my email or through LinkedIn. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out my work.